Yo, what up, man? Hey, peace and power to everybody. Hope everybody good out there, man. My bad. I thought the goddamn thing was on. I hear talking my shit, and just realized I'm not in the damn room. What the? Hey, what up, Mighty Machine? Boxing God in the house, the Boxing Lounge. Peace to everybody. Hope y'all having a great day, man. Um, hey, let me start off with Femi, um, Anthony Joshua. He did an interview with Kugan Cassius. I think he was out in Dubai or wherever supporting some fighters. And Kugan apparently caught him up for an interview. And let me just advise Anthony Joshua something. Look here, man. When you don't want to do interviews, don't do interviews. Because that interview, it just came off real strange and real like, you didn't want to be there. You seem irritated. Look, I get that you're embarrassed and you're angry over your last fight. I get it. You've made that clear. But unless you actually want to talk to people, don't talk to nobody. Because you're not giving clear responses. You seem to be kind of stuck in your head right now. And again, I get that you're angry or you're embarrassed that this dude came over to England and schooled you badly. But you got schooled because you were arrogant in your approach that you could outbox this man who was clearly a better boxer than you. And what's good, Haplo? And now you're here, no belts, and you're on the outside looking in right now, and you're upset. But you need to stop doing interviews when you really don't want to speak. Stop worrying about what people think about your trainer situation. And I get it, man. I mean, you don't like that people are making a big deal out of it because a lot of people have changed their trainers and it wasn't an issue. Tyson Fury has changed multiple trainers and nobody gave a F. But again, the same things that made you popular, made you rich, are the same things that's working against you. You have the eyeballs on you, and everybody's paying attention to everything you do. That's what you wanted, right? Your success early on gave you all those fans. Now those fans are paying attention to you, so you can't ask why the F people are minding your business so much. People are minding your business because the same way they minded your business to buy your tickets, to buy your pay-per-views, to do all that shit. You need to accept that people are just going to be interested in what you're doing. Whatever you do as a trainer, that's your business. But you need to stop doing interviews when you don't want to do interviews. If you need to move on from your trainer, move on from your trainer. This is the right time to do it. Your trainer got you to where you are, but sometimes you need somebody else or another voice to unlock certain things inside of you. But you need to start worrying about people and talking about why is everybody, up my ass so much, because you're a popular guy. But my advice to you, Femi, and you'll never see this interview because I'm nobody. But if you ever, or if anybody that knows you ever stumbles across this interview, bro, stop doing interviews when you don't want to talk. It comes off poorly because you don't want to talk. You're embarrassed and you're upset. You're angry, as you said. Those are all good things. You should be embarrassed. You should be angry. That'll help you in the rematch. So until then, bro, just go on with your life, man. And tell Coogan no when you don't want to talk. Simple. That's all. Boxing Lounge said he's too close to McCracken. That's probably so. He stated before that the Rob McCracken relationship goes beyond boxing because Rob McCracken is somebody who spoke up on his behalf when other people wanted him kicked off the team. And Rob McCracken really stuck up for him and stuck by him when he needed somebody in his life. Joshua is somebody who had a turbulent past. He was somebody who was in trouble. He said he started boxing because he thought he was going to go to jail and he didn't want to get beat up in jail. So his cousin took him down to the boxing gym and that's where he stayed. But whatever issues you have with McCracken, you need to stop throwing shots at this guy subliminally. In the last interview, you know, they noted that you shouted out some advice to what's his name, O'Hara Davies, and O'Hara confirmed that you know, Anthony Joshua showed some instructions to me from the crowd. I did it and it worked. And you said in your interview, well, now you see what happens when people shout out correct advice to you. You know, when a fighter is fighting and a fighter can respond to correct advice. Those are shots to your your cornermen. Those are shots to your people, to your team. Don't throw no shots to you know, at your team through the media, bro. Tell them people to their face. I don't like that shit. So again, it's cool to be embarrassed and it's cool to be angry, but you know, you need to stop doing interviews for a little while. You did your long interview with Coogan, that was enough. When you don't want to do anymore, that's fine. Just keep quiet until the rematch. Keep quiet, go to your fights, you know, give short interviews if you want, but nothing too in-depth, and keep moving. Anywho, let me move on to this Thriller event they had the other night, and in the main event they had Kubrat Pulev versus Frank Mir. If you don't know who Frank Mir is, Frank Mir was a former UFC champion. He tapped out Brock Lesnar. He broke Nogueira's arm. Frank Mir is a vet. He's been up, he's been down in his career. But now he's retired from MMA. And all these MMA guys have to now seek out revenue in these boxing events. I don't know if you call that a boxing event, but it was boxing with essentially MMA gloves or something close to that in a triangle. And Frank Mir got absolutely destroyed. Kubrat Pulev hit him with whatever, you know, the Kubrat Pulev jab and then a straight right. And Frank Mir was out on his feet. He was staggering around the ring and doing all this shit. And it's just a shame that these UFC guys, the biggest MMA league in the world, promotion in the world, and all the former fighters have to be doing these sorts of things to make money. And people like Dana White and the new owners of the UFC pretty much benefit from the entire revenue. And they don't really split the revenue fairly, you know, with the fighters. Imagine fighting for somebody who, when they make deals with sponsors and the fighters have to wear the sponsors' clothes or patches of the sponsors like they had with Reebok. Now it's Venom. None of that sponsorship money goes to the fighters. None. But the fighters used to be able to have their own sponsors on their trunks or, you know, whatever they're wearing, or on their little banners that they hang over the cage. They can't do that no more. They don't have that revenue no more. The UFC signs with sponsors, and none of that sponsorship money goes to the fighters. To see somebody like Frank Mir have to do this sort of activity after he's done putting his body through hell in the UFC is really unfortunate. I'm not going to play the video now, but if you want to, go and check out Thriller Triad Combat or whatever, and look what Frank Mir did. Frank Mir got done to him by Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev is a well-decorated amateur. Fought at the highest levels of pro boxing. Fought Klitschko and fought Joshua. Those are the only two losses on his record. And he made Frank Mir do a drunken master dance in that goddamn triangle ring or whatever it was. And I felt bad because I watched Frank Mir for a lot of years. And to see a man have to do those things to make money after fighting for so long with the Fertitas and Dana White, that's unfortunate. That's my opinion on those two things. Give me a second, people. Give me a second. I'll be right back. There's the link if anybody wants to get on. We're gonna move on to, of course, the big news over the weekend. Mr. Teofimo Lopez Jr. versus George Kambosos Jr. And unless you are living under a rock, if you follow boxing in the slightest, even in the slightest, you know what happened in that fight. And you know Teofimo's reaction after the fight. I want to say first off, congratulations to George Kambosos. That man fought a brilliant fight, did everything he was supposed to do, and he pretty much schooled Teofimo Lopez, brutalized Teofimo Lopez in that ring. If he had more power, he would have knocked Teofimo out cold, because he was hitting Teofimo with straight rights, overhand rights, left hooks, almost at will. First with the jab. His footwork was better. My question is, has Teofimo Lopez regressed as a fighter? Did this last weight cut, was this too much for him? But then you see, Teofimo and them had multiple times to make this fight early up in the year, and they refused. They don't want to do it this time. They don't want to do it that time. So if it was the weight, that's your fault. You waited too long, and now you're too big for the weight class. Now it's a problem. I was disappointed in the whole build-up. Like, whenever Teofimo and his father would start to talk, I'll click off whatever video, because Teofimo is gonna start, Junior is gonna start rambling about how great he is and his mentality and his this and his that. His father's gonna go off on some obnoxious rant. And it's cool to hype up your son, and it's cool to hype up yourself. But somehow Teofimo comes off as a guy who probably read a couple books, looks at a couple inspirational quotes, and thinks he's smarter than he really is. Teofimo beat this one guy in Lomachenko, and he thought he was the best thing in the world. George Kambosos came over here on a mission. He was, he said he used the time off, all the delays, to get better and better and better and learn more. And he proved that shit, man. He beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. And then to see Teo come on after in the in-ring interview and said he beat that boy. What you mean? I beat him, like AB. And then he got booed by the crowd. His own crowd, by the way, because everybody saw this dude lost, man. And then his father comes on after, in an interview after, and talking about how, this is DAZN's fault, it's Eddie Hearn's fault. They should have stayed at Top Rank, who truly love us. Top Rank love you so much that they bid the least for your fight. DAZN gave Matchroom the money to bid more than your promoter. So you got paid more by Matchroom for this fight. What DAZN got to do with you and your son not having no game plan past one round? No game plan. So now you blame DAZN, you blame Matchroom, and you say Top Rank is going to do 2 pay-per-views next year with you. Bro, Bob Arum is going to use this to his advantage. He's been trying to get Teofimo Lopez humbled for a while, and he got humbled. Is Teofimo Lopez Sr. saying that if this was on Top Rank, that they would have robbed George Kambosos? Is that what he's saying? Oh, what's up, Black?
What's up, boss?
I'm good, man. What's on your
How you
mind
doing?
today?
Oh man, just tapping in with you, man. Tapping in with you. Recapping the weekend.
Yep.
I heard you saying something about T.O. getting booed at the end of the fight in his hometown.
Yeah, he got booed, man. He came on like, yeah, man, I won. I won that 10-2. Blah, blah, blah. And the boos rained down. His own people booed him, black.
Yeah, I don't even got no flame for him right now, man. People doing it. It's the flame is already out here, so
I mean, this
you
man's a
know.
meme. He's a meme. He's like AB. I beat that boy.
Yeah, this might be worse though, because they said AB didn't even have face wasn't even marked up, but
That's true. That's true.
T.O. face for marked up. He talking about I won. Looked like he was jumped, Uncle.
Yo, this
Talking
man
about I
comes
won.
up, comes up, I won, and he needs a blood transfusion after that, bro.
See how to pull out the Devin Haney disappointment
Yeah,
face?
that's the
Come on
that's the
now.
Devin that's the Devin Haney. Come on now.
You won. Come on now. Yeah, man. Cambosa's getting love out here. Demetrius Andre was in T.O. corner. And then when Cambosa's won, he was over there, jocking George Cambosa's, man. Like,
Man, listen, you gotta give that dude his props. That man came and did a job. He did a job. He followed instruction and did a job.
hmm
And he told Teofimo, I'm in your head. I got you. I'm in your head. And he was right. Teofimo comes out, jumps out at him. And I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then he jumps out. He gets knocked down. When he got knocked down, I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. Teofimo type of guy, like, if because George Kambosos, Tio is a bully. And when a bully realizes that they can't get you out of there, they can't intimidate you, they can't do none of that shit, they start losing a bit of confidence. And Tio didn't have no answers for this dude. No answers because George wasn't going nowhere. George wasn't afraid of him. And he was just, I don't know, he just seemed levels above Teofimo Black. He just seemed like he was a level above this dude.
You know what I noticed, Uncone? And that's the awesome thing about boxing. When you watching what they say before the fight, you're looking at their demeanors going into the fight, and then you see them on fight night. When I look at this particular fight, Tio and George both fought the way that they acted going into the fight. And what I mean by that is George Kambosos was real calm. Of course, he was ready. He was super confident. He was super confident. He kept his composure even when T.O.'s dad went over there and started creating ruckus with his pops. He was like, we got it. I'm good, mate. We'll see you tomorrow night. He was just real, real calm. T.O. the whole time, cocky, claiming he's going to go in there and get the first round KO. And he went in there and looking for the KO. And he fought that same way. He fought emotional. He fought frustrated. The same way he was doing his interviews when they was asking him certain interviews and just the certain things that was coming out of his mouth and just seemed like, damn, bro, what's wrong with you? You okay in the head? It looked like that in the fight. Like, bro, you okay? What's wrong with you, man? What happened to you, T.O.?
I'm
So
telling you.
that's how I look.
I'm telling you. Tio seemed, as you said, just real irritable all week. Just irritated, pissed off. Listen, I understand. You don't want to make the weight no more. This is your last. You've been, because even before you were like, oh, Devin Haney got to come to 140 to fight me. They got to come see me. They got to bring something to the table. Hey, all this arrogance and all this other bullshit and all this other stuff, you wasn't focused on who was in front of you. This dude did not come here to play no games with you. Like Black said, you're right. They fought exactly like how they acted all fight week. All fight week. Tio wanted to be the bull and the aggressor and intimidate him. And Kambosos just stayed calm. Just stayed calm and dealt with the situation as it is. But
Yeah, most definitely, man. And credit to him, man. You know, this has been a very humbling year, Iron Cone. Very humbling
lot of
year
people,
for a lot of fighters,
lot of
man.
people, lot of people had to get humble this year, including my guy Femi. He was already a humble guy, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna
you
throw
are,
Femi in that, man. I ain't gonna throw him in that.
man.
But
Look here, he needed some of that shit too. F that.
he was already a humble guy, so I can't say that he got
No, I
humbled. He
feel
just
you.
got
I
outboxed.
feel you. He got out
Yeah.
back, but What I mean by that is, like I told my wife the Saturday night, he's arrogant to think that he can outbox Usyk. He's listening to people saying, "Oh, he's this great boxer at heavyweight." Yeah, you're a good boxer for other people, not with this dude. You understand? This dude is
Yeah,
a boxer. You know what I'm saying? So when I told
yeah.
my wife that if he really sticks by his word and says he's gonna outbox Usyk, he gonna lose the fight. And I'm sorry my wife ain't here to say that's what he told me, but that's what I said.
Nah, you a real dude, so I believe
I did not expect him to actually go and do a pure boxing match with Usyk. I was like, that's arrogance. What are you doing?
you.
Anyway, but a lot of people got humbled this year. As you say, bro, I mean, you got people like Wilder who got humbled. Tio got humbled. Who else can we think about?
Josue Vargas, Puerto Rican.
Josue Vargas got humbled.
Yeah, man, big time.
As the
Um,
Iron Sheik would say, make them humble.
yes, it has been an Iron Sheik type year, Iron Cone.
Make a lot of people humble, man. I mean, fight sport is a funny thing. Fight sport is really funny. You know, people like Galahad, Kid Galahad, who was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And Kiko Martinez, a guy Black's gone. Kiko Martinez, another guy who dedicated himself to his craft. As he said, he sacrificed his whole family time for like a year working on himself, working on his mentality, working on his body, getting himself out of anxiety and all that shit. Mental issues. What up, Wayne Hennessy? Kiko Martinez came into that Galahad fight, and these guys worked their ass off. And he came in and cleaned out goddamn Galahad. Won his fight. I want to encourage all the young people and coming into fight sport. Never get too overconfident. Never get too overconfident. When somebody steps into a ring or a cage with you, everybody has a chance. Just ask Georges St. Pierre when he got knocked out by Matt Serra. Matt Serra, who was a low-level veteran, who won the Ultimate Fighter and the right to fight George St. Pierre, and he got cleaned out. Johnson St. Pierre, who was the number one guy, beat Matt Hughes and all of that back then, way back then. And Matt Serra knocked him out. You can't underrate nobody in a ring or a cage. Nobody. Everybody has a chance. In my opinion, Teofimo Jr. has to get counseling. I don't mean a psychiatrist, and I don't mean a sports psychiatrist. I mean a real psychiatrist. I think that young man has a lot of personal issues he's going through. He has a lot of personal issues that he got to deal with. I think his father is a person that exploits his mentality. I think his father has a strange hold on Tio Jr. And I think Teofimo has to find a way to get his father a bit out his life and get some counseling. He's going through it with it in his personal life with his wife and family. He's going through it with his dad. His dad is over here exacerbating a situation. This man is going to fight another man on Saturday, and he has to worry about you running around trying to fight or running around trying to run up on the opponent's team. This man is already stressed out. He already has to make he already has to make a weight cut that he doesn't want to do. If anything, your team is supposed to be the one keeping you calm. They're supposed to be the one keeping everything around you serene as possible. And not that Teofimo has to be worrying about his goddamn father running around being a loudmouth, cussing people out, trying to fight people, and all this shit. It raises your anxiety level. It's already a daunting task that you got to go fight somebody on Saturday. You got to go fight another man on Saturday. And your father is here making shit completely untenable, exacerbating an already tense situation. Your father is supposed to know who you are and what you're going through, and that I have to hold it down for my son and keep my son calm. No, not Teofimo Sr., not him. Let's ramp up the anxiety by 200 points. Man. Teo Jr. is the most sensible out the pair, and he's a bit off. I'm telling you. Senior is absolutely too much. Senior was not backstage with Junior before the fight. He was in the ring. You're shitting me. Haplotype says Senior was not backstage with Junior before the fight. He was in the ring partying. You're shitting me, Haplo. Senior was on something out of control, giving contradictory advice in the corner. I agree. When like this dude was, oh man, terrible advice. Hey, if anybody want to get on with me, bro. Anybody want to get on with me? Tone says his father doesn't appear to be a calming influence if he's going through issues. Tone, if you listen to Teofimo before and after the fight, he made a comment about how much money he took home from Top Rank. He only took home like $600,000 for the Lomachenko fight, and his father had to kind of calm that down because there was already reports that Teofimo had money issues. What's up, Haplo?
What's up, man? How you doing? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, there's a video. This guy Maestro has he was at the fight, and he was showing this video before the fight when they were getting ready in the dressing room. Senior was in the ring, like dancing to reggaeton. He was like making a fool out of himself, looking like a clown. Meanwhile, his son is getting prepared to, enter the ring backstage, and who's back there with him? Like half the team was in the ring, like dancing and partying and hyping up the crowd, and he's back there waiting to go in the ring. So, I mean, that goes to show you right there where Senior's head is at. He's talking about celebrating in the middle of the fight, going out to clubs and shit. Like, he's all about himself and partying and getting with chicks and like using his son's fame to like, live out his fantasies of, being a celebrity or something like that. Cause like, obviously he wasn't there to be a coach and to be a supporting guy,
That that is crazy. That is crazy, Haplo. This man is going to fight another man. Basically fight for his life. Because in that ring, people lose their lives, right? He's basically going to fight for his life in that ring. Never forget that it's called prize fighting, but people have died in boxing. So when you go inside, you're fighting for your life. You're trying to make this man don't kill you in the ring, because they can kill you in the ring. You can't be out here doing all that shit. You're supposed to make sure that everything around your son is at least stressful. Teofimo is going through personal family issues. He every so often he will let out that he has issues with his I guess his wife. I didn't know he was married. His wife and whatever with his kid and all of that. And all that shit is on him. If you're this man's father, you're supposed to know that, and you're supposed to say, you know what, I can't, I gotta cut down on I gotta try to bring everything down a notch. Don't ramp the shit up.
His father and his trainer.
Oh my God.
and he's not back there giving him advice, warming him up, like getting him ready for the fight. He's like literally dancing in the ring like a clown, looking stupid. I mean, he was even drunk. Like, it seemed like he was drunk or on something when he had that interview with Radio Raheem after. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was just like totally sloppy and like saying the same thing over and over again. Like, yeah, he's on something, that guy. He's living out his fantasies using his son's career as like a springboard to, live the celebrity lifestyle.
I think I was on Tony's show, and Tony was saying that Senior wanted to be a fighter at one point. Is that true?
I don't know, but I know he wants to party. He was talking about it during the fight. He's like, we're going to go out after this. We're gonna, like, he's planning the night. He's probably looking up reservations at a club during the rounds, I guess maybe they just thought Kambosos was nothing and like they were just going to walk through him or something. But that was a dumb thing to do because they wrote off that Lomachenko win for so long, dude. They made it seem like he was the best thing since sliced bread. And that was the one thing I kept thinking to myself, like, well, when is he going to fight again? Because, I mean, that was a good win, yeah. But, I mean, that was a long time ago. There's only so much mileage you can get out of that,
I don't know, Haplo, because in these days, Tank is still waiting off of the Pedraza fight till now. So, but
yeah, but he's fought a few times since then, and Tio, just sort of wrote off that Lomachenko thing for like over a year, man.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, what's up, ERF Boxing? How you doing, man? Is that ERF Boxing? Okay, well maybe he'll come on.
I can't hear him.
Neither me. ERF, when you're ready, man, just we can't hear you, so maybe go out and come back in or whatever.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, boss. What's up, man?
Yeah, not much. I just heard you talking about this Teal stuff, so I thought I'd jump on.
What's your take on it, man? I mean, about the fight. What's your take on Tio and his father? What's your take on everything? What's your take?
Well, first, the fight, Teo just had zero game plan. His game plan was knock Kambosos out. I said it on Rafi's show before everything messed up. It was as if he had a Deontay Wilder complex in that fight. He just believed he needed to land one shot at one time and the fight would be over. Even when he had Kambosos hurt in the 10th round, instead of, if you looked at the referee was waiting to stop the fight. All Tio needed to do was put a few punches together, maybe just like a shoe shine against the ropes. Just just let his hands go, not with power shots, but just landing stuff. And the referee looked like he wanted to jump in to stop the fight, but he just constantly all he was looking for was one big shot. It seemed
Yeah, it was
try and
loading
make
up.
statement. His dad in his
I think he dropped off. Yeah, when he had him hurt, he could have flurried and the ref might have stopped it right there. Even the announcers were saying it on the broadcast.
1-2 Kid, what up, man?
Hey, what's up, Con? How you doing? What's up, Hat?
What up, OTK?
We going to hold on, 1-2 Kid. ERF, you back? Oh. He's buffering. What the hell is going on? ERF. Anyway, 1-2 Kid, what's up, man? Talk to me.
Man? What up, man? Yeah, man. I think Teofimo's seniors, I think Teofimo's dad's 15 minutes is up. I think he had his time to shine, and he need to let his son get a new trainer and possibly turn his career on back on anyway. Because let's just face it, man. The kid is he's delusional, just like his dad. He thought he won a fight that he didn't win. He was looking for one shot all night. No plan B promotions. Came in bigger. He was heavy. He was soft. You know what I mean? It just, It was all bad, man. It was all bad. And this dude was in his head and went to work on him, beat his ass, and this dude still thinks he won. So I mean, it's delusional. He delusional, man.
That's crazy. ERF, you there, man? Now, Eric is having some problems.
Did you see the video, 1-2 Kid, of Senior dancing in the ring when Junior was getting ready backstage?
I didn't, but I heard you talking about it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, how can you
Ridiculous.
not be with your fighter, let alone it's your son too? I mean, that
And the
was
whole time,
egregious.
man, he not there as a trainer or a father. He there as a fan. Like,
Dude,
get
he
him
was
out of
thinking
there,
about
bro.
he was thinking about partying during the fight. He's like, we're gonna celebrate, we're gonna go out, in the middle of like his son getting his ass whooped, bro.
Delusional, man.
Listen,
Do it
man,
all the way.
I said before that Teofimo Jr. needs a counselor, a psychologist. I don't mean a sports psychologist. I mean a psychologist. I think his father, I don't know their situation because I don't know how they grew up together, but this dude, his father seems to be somebody that is not going to be able to be useful to his son's mental health. His father seems to be a problem starter. His father seems to be somebody who, as Haplo said, he might be a selfish guy. Might be a guy who really is just trying to get his name out there, and it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Teofimo is absolutely struggling with personal shit in his life, absolutely struggling, and he's being influenced by his dad, who's telling him to do a lot of dumb shit. Now he comes off, oh, it's the zone's fault, it's Eddie's fault. His son comes out the ring and is immediately saying, oh, it's a conspiracy, it's sabotage. How could two people have such similar mentalities? Is it really just them, or is the son feeding into his father's bullshit?
I think it's his son feeding into his father's bullshit. Because let's just face it, as soon as it happened, he was like, I know what it's all about. Oh, y'all doing this. Yo, that's his guy, yada yada. And then he
Now, who's
trusts
that?
his father. He trusts his father. So he
Come
trusts what
also,
his father's saying, What?
come also saying Simon Eddie Hearn. No, none of them two do Simon Eddie Hearn.
No. I'm talking about with Haney. Like, I'm just talking about the
No,
whole
no, I
pattern.
got you. I
Like
got
the
you.
entire patterns, how they move. He trusts his dad because his dad was right about a few things, but his dad's still riding on that. You know what I mean? They ain't making no adjustments. And this is the perfect example of buying into your own hype, believing in that bullshit, not putting in the work. While Cambosis was putting in the work and he was stalling out the fight. Tio was stalling out the fight. Him and his pops. This man was training. This man was watching tape. This man was putting in the work, and it didn't matter how much talent he had because he wasn't putting in the work. And then he got work, and that's how that go.
Yeah, I think it might be over for him, dude, honestly, because if you think about it, with all these problems that he's having, he just lost all his titles, and now they're talking about moving up to 140. What's he going to do at 140, man? There's guys up there who can whip his ass, dude. He's been, kind of being a weight bully and, draining himself down to 135, and he was really good at 135 up until this fight. But now he's going to go up to 140, and what's he going to do there? Beat Josh Taylor? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not that guy.
I
Not
mean,
that guy
up
that we
there,
seen in there with Cambosis. He'll
up
get
there, we got
murdered.
people like Prograis waiting. Josh Taylor is up there waiting.
Ramirez.
Ramirez is waiting. All these people are waiting on you, bro. People who themselves might be saying, you know what? I can hang around at 140 to beat you up before I move to 147. Remember, there's guys there too draining themselves down to 140. So please, when you're talking about Josh Taylor, I don't know if these guys think Josh Taylor is some kind of punk. Like, why they keep calling out Josh Taylor? This dude is not playing no games with you.
Nah,
Josh Taylor's not
man.
playing no games.
And Tio need a trainer, not a hype man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Who was this guy that Cambosis mentioned left him? Joey Gamache. Was that a trainer?
Gamache, yeah, Gamache was there with him when he beat Lomachenko. He the one who came up with the game plan. Gamache is he pretty much undefeated with the guys he been with of late. So when they bring this guy in, I think someone suggested AJ using him because the he's a boxing brain. You know what I mean? And you know, he's a former fighter, but some people better at being a trainer than they are at a fighter. You know,
Yep.
so you know he's a brain, man. So that's something that you want to tap into, and then you think you got what you. And that's the arrogance, man. Okay, well, I got what I wanted from you. Now I'm gonna move on. I don't need you no more.
Right.
That's what it is, man. He left half of his team out celebrating before the fight. He talking about Haney, he talking about Josh Taylor before the fight. He got this man who, like I said, man, was training for a year, who pissed, completely focused, all in this dude's head. And he just thinking over this dude. You can't do that, man. We see it happen 1,000 times. You know what I mean? Dudes talking about other people and then losing. We see AJ do it twice. We see it, and then when it comes to the hype people that are just there to basically just boost their confidence, you know, and make them damn near delusional. We seen that happen with Wilder, and we see all that shit happen with Tio. Like all of that together. And it's just like, well, there you go, man. There you go. There you go. Can he come back the way he was talking after the fight? I don't know. I don't think so. It'd be really difficult. He'd have to rearrange everything.
Again, man, I just think this guy has
to the point where he get cut real bad by a punch, and you still don't protect that eye with the hand. I mean, what kind of shit was that?
Bro, he was getting hit at will, like Cambosis couldn't miss.
Right.
Couldn't miss.
Because his hand was down.
Yo, dude, I seen him make adjustments and then start getting hit with the punch again nonstop. I was like, what the fuck just happened? The dude was getting tagged with the jab and the hook, right? The jab, and then he would turn the jab over to a hook, Cambosis would. He was tagging him with it. He made the adjustments in the middle of the fight, and then he couldn't hit him with it. And then he just started getting hit with it like continuously. And I was like, what? Like he just felt like, okay, I'm just going to walk through his shots because he ain't got a trainer there to tell him what to do. You know what I mean? He ain't got nobody there to direct him in the right direction other than get him out of here, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, still get him out of here, man. Calm down. Why is he still alive? Like, you should have been done killed him. Like, it's just a fanboy in this corner. You know what I mean? He ain't teaching him nothing. He ain't teaching him nothing.
He not saying nothing of no use. He just coming in and basically berating his son. When this dude is in there getting punched up in his face, it's like you need to come in and give this man clear instructions. That's why you sit outside the ring to see the entire situation. You come in basically verbally berating your son. Again, beforehand, you wasn't keeping a situation calm. During the fight, you're not keeping a situation calm. What's your use then?
Right, man. It's like the dude bringing him to the cliff and telling him, B, you can fly, bro. Jump, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, the fuck, man. I'm like, what the fuck kind of team you got around you? And the dude, you already said it. He mentally, you know, he got his little issues and shit too. So it's just like, what a waste. Well, oh well.
And then telling him he won rounds when he wasn't winning the rounds, that works against the fighter too. Because if he thinks he's winning all the rounds, he's not going to step on the gas like he should. You know, every round he was like, "You got that one, you got that one." You know, again,
then telling him that it was a conspiracy, and then celebrating with Cambosis and his pops.
Oh man,
like this dude is. Like the dude is a full mess, man. That dude was cutting.
Yeah, he did everything wrong.
Whole fight, yeah,
pretty much everything.
Fight. He couldn't have did it. Yeah, there's not one thing he did right, man, in that whole fight. You know, not one, and that go for Tio too.
After I mean, sorry, at the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins, right? You hear seniors saying, "Where's the closest hospital to here? Where's the closest hospital?" Well, they found the closest hospital for your son. Your son almost got his eye punched out, bro. Like what? Like man.
Yeah.
And you know what though?
When
To be
talking
honest
shit
with
goes
you,
wrong.
yeah. To be honest with you, when he was about to get him out of there, I was like, I hope he don't, because then he just gonna rely on his power in his next fight, and it's gonna be disastrous anyway. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna learn nothing. Them the type of people that need to walk the road. You know what I mean? They gotta burn the trail to learn. You can't tell them nothing. You know what I'm saying? He got to burn his own trail and take that loss and humble. I didn't see a humble man at the end of that fight. I seen a delusional dude.
Yep. Yep. I don't. I wish Teofimo the best, but the only way he's gonna let me see. Big Duke says Teofimo was bad for boxing. More people like Bud, Taylor, Cambosos, and AJ, and less big mouths.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. I've always been told in my life, the only thing that meets or that beats or equals ability is likability. You see, when people like you get a lot of opportunities. Teofimo wanted to, well, I don't even know if it's him, but his father was creating this persona of a villain or a bully before this dude really made a name for him. Okay, you beat Lomachenko. That doesn't mean anything. This is your first defense after that fight. Look what happened to you. You didn't get like, it wasn't like a boring, drawn out fight. No, you got brutalized in this fight. Beat the F up. You know what I'm saying? Man, let me tell you something. I'm just disappointed with the whole bit. You know who was like this? Billy Joe Saunders' father.
Andy Ruiz was like that. He won one big fight and then just went crazy.
No,
Yeah, but at least Andy wanted to fight again.
Right. But hold on. Billy Joe Saunders' father did the same thing. He came to America and started cranking shit up even more, picking fights with people. Eddie Hearn is against me. They're trying to rob us because we're travelers and all this shit. Again, your son has to go fight another man. You're supposed to keep things calm. ERF boxing, you're back.
Yeah, what's up? Hopefully, I'll stay on this time.
Yeah, man, you sound clear. Go ahead. You were giving your thoughts on the whole situation.
On the Teo situation, yeah.
Yeah, we're still there.
Oh, yeah. It just seemed to me like I think it was when Rivals said it. He basically he didn't have there was no game plan. Teo Senior, Tunde Ajayi had a better game plan than him. He actually gave him instruction to empty the tank. He didn't. All he said was "fuck him up, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro." Like that's supposed to be your fighter. He's not your son in there while you're supposed to be giving him instructions. This is supposed to be a fighter you've trained for this fight. You're supposed to give him instructions to go out there, tell him to throw a jab, tell him to put his hands up, tell him to do something, but nothing whatsoever. He's so delusional, this guy. I find it cringeworthy just listening to him. It's crazy. I can't listen to the guy.
Yeah, he sounded like a guy who gambled and lost.
Yeah, it's
Who
everything
on
he
his
was
son
saying.
and was like, yo, we're gonna lose, bro. Yo, I'm gonna lose all this money, bro. Like a dude in the crowd.
The crazy thing is, as well, the whole thing. It seemed to be a Teofimo Senior show. Everything was about him. Like Teo did not have every interview. It was about Senior. Every camp in the ring before the fight, dancing around with the belts, whilst Teo's in the back supposed to be getting warmed up to come out. Teo Senior's in the ring dancing around with the belts to the DJ. Like the guy just I've not seen a father-son duo where the father really wants the limelight as much as he does.
Yeah. Well, maybe Guerrero.
I
Guerrero's
don't think Guerrero was as bad as him.
At least Guerrero would be in the back, like warming his son up, not out in the ring looking like a clown with partying like that. That was ridiculous, man.
We're gonna fucking beat him, man. We're gonna win.
The stars aligned this whole past week. The stars were aligning for this to happen because how they was acting at the press conference, how he acted at the media workout, how he acted at the weigh-in, everything. The stars just aligned for, and then Tio's, I don't know what his dad said to him when the result got read out, but him coming and snatching the mic to say, "Oh, you're a great fighter, but I won." I'm like, who gave you that advice? You know what? I know who gave you that advice.
Right.
That's probably the only advice he gave you the whole fight.
Yeah, he's like, go in there, grab the mic, hurry up.
Yeah, they're booing you, bro. Grab the mic, man. Take the crowd back. It's like the fight's over. Your belts is not there, bro. Your luggage is lighter. You came with luggage and left with a carry-on. Like your belts is not gone. It's just all the way bad for you right now, man. So you need to make some adjustments, man, and know who's on your team and who's really not on your team. Who's a fanboy? When your pops is a fanboy, that's bad, bro.
Oh, that's terrible. Like I really do hope Teofimo comes out in the next day and just apologizes for what he did after the fight. Because if he doesn't, he's going to end up like Wilder. Yeah. With this delusion, with this whole delusion for the next however long till he gets into the ring again, he's going to have this delusion that he won this fight. Somehow he won this fight. He's going to go into his next fight, not make any changes whatsoever, and he's going to lose to a 140 fighter.
And he roasted Wilder, bro. He called Wilder a bitch for making excuses.
Stop acting like a bitch. You know, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Hey, ERF, it's too late because that clip of him in the ring, that's already a meme. That's gonna be forever.
Oh yeah, but it's not even the fact of a meme. It's his self psychologically. If he goes into another fight now without addressing what actually went wrong in this fight, because there's so much to unpack in what went wrong in this fight, how you at that level you're overlooking an opponent who's fought the way to get to fight you. He totally overlooked him. Like like Mikey Garcia, we could say, I think Mikey overlooked Sandor Martin, but Mikey was in there fighting. Like Tio turned up, and from the first minute, you knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
and he didn't change. Like Kambosos knew what he wanted to do the whole fight. He didn't.
He didn't set nothing up. He didn't do anything correctly. He just was trying to rip dude's head off, and he knew he could see everything coming. He seen the mentality. He countered him, and even when Tio almost got him out of there, I'm like, this don't matter, and I hope he don't get it. Real talk. I was like, I hope he don't get it, because if he gets it, he gonna think it's gonna bail him out all the time.
Yeah, and, I was praying.
I was just like, man, I wouldn't put no money on this fight. I knew that shit. When I was listening to the Tio talk, I was like, man, I ain't putting no money on this dude. I said, he number one at 135, not anymore. Kambosos is. He the three belt, unified champion with the extra
French fries.
The French fries, What I mean? But he got some belts with him, and he came and hard work paid off.
Hey, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead, talk.
Yeah, he did. He did his thing, And as much as Tio and his that whole side of that fight was bad, Kambosos actually showed up and showed out because what he was doing was effective, and even when he was winning rounds, the last 20 seconds of rounds, he was still standing there and wanted to bang with Tio. He had that much confidence in himself, and he was feeling himself and feeling how good he was performing. He was willing to stand, and there was nobody who can turn around and say
there was some rounds he could have took off and could have easily got away with it.
I was saying, like, after the 8th round, I was literally saying like, listen, you just need to stay on your feet. You've won this fight. Just stay on your feet. And he was going in, he was doing his thing, but then he was still standing trade and be like, listen, I'm not running from you. I'm not running from you. I'm going to take your belts. And that's exactly what he did. People say you've got to take the champion's belts. He ripped those belts away from him.
And to keep it all the way 100, it's a good thing he did, because one of them scorecards was ridiculous.
One was ridiculous, and 2 of them didn't even give him a 10-8 round for the knockdown.
Oh, wow. Damn, I didn't even see
they
that.
scored it.
I
two
think that could have
cards
been a
scored it
9-9, because I thought Tio basically won the round except for the knockdown.
But the thing is with that is the first round when Tio came out, he was missing a lot. He did catch Kambosos with a couple of shots, but he was missing a hell of a lot in that first round.
Oh yeah,
and
Kambosos wasn't really doing anything except for when he landed that big right hand. I kind of agree with that score. The 2 judges that scored at 9-9, I kind of agree with that. Because if you watch the round, I watched it a few times after. Like, Kambosos doesn't really do anything except knock him down. So
yeah,
9-9 is fair.
I hear that, but for me, he knocks him down and he finishes the last round. He finishes that first round on top because he catches Tio. He hurts Tio again at the end of that round with a right hand. He lands a right hand right at the end of that round to stamp it that it was his round.
Yeah.
So, I hear you. A lot of people scored at 10-8. I don't have a problem with that, but I scored at 9-9 because 2 punches to me doesn't really win a round.
I hear you. I hear you. I disagree, but I can see where you're coming from. Well,
hey,
Tony. Yeah, go on.
Hey, yo, hold on. Tony says Kambosos was piecing up Lopez in round 1. Big Duke says Tio was lucky. Round 1, not an extra 10 seconds, he was going to sleep.
I believe so as well, because Kambosos actually he landed a flush right hand at the end of the round.
That was
right on the bell, and you could see Tio was like, oh.
But to be honest, guys, if that other round was 10 seconds longer too,
the 10th round
probably would have been asleep too.
The 10th round.
But it was a one-sided ass whooping for the most part. Tio had moments, and that's all he had.
I scored it 9-3.
He was getting his ass whooped. I looked at the ass whooping as a whole. I wasn't even scoring the rounds. It was like this. This is just a one-sided ass whooping right here, and this dude is getting beat up by a smaller guy. It was clear as day. You know what I mean? Dude looked slow, and he just got pieced up, man. And it's just what it is, man. You don't put in the work. And you don't
Let me ask you something. Is he really too big for 135, or is that he doesn't really have a team, so he doesn't have a nutritionist, so he's cutting weight maybe poorly, and because even if you go to 140, if you have bad habits and you're not doing the work in terms of cutting weight properly, healthily, you're still gonna suffer in the ring. What y'all think is that
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. All right, Colin. Like, to be honest, like my opinion about it, I think the reason why it took so long is because it was weight camp. It was fat camp.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, and I feel like he was just trying to make the weight. So I believed him when he said he wanted to move up to 140. He was draining himself. Yeah, I believe that. But if you sign in the contract and you sticking around and you running around calling yourself undisputed, and he was quick to say, I should have just dropped the belts and left.
Listen, his dad said something. His dad said we should have gone up 3 fights ago. Like 3 fights ago, you wouldn't have been a world champion.
Right.
So how are you going to say you would not have been a world champion because you beat Comey and you beat Loma? Now you lost to George. That's 3 fights. So if you'd have moved up to 140 without doing anything in this division. So for me, it's excuses. Yeah. If you was tight at the weight 3 years ago, but then it was okay to win your first title. You was okay to beat Loma. Now all of a sudden you can't beat George Kambosos, who to everyone's eyes before this fight, he isn't a patch on Loma and he ain't a patch on Comey. So
Yeah.
Lopez should have run through this guy. Like this is just all excuses. All these guys are struggling with weight.
And they all over with the excuses too. There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
It
now
was a setup. It was this. We should have left. Oh, I gotta go home. Oh, this,
His
that.
own
I'm like,
fault.
man, listen. I
It's
didn't
different.
give Loma. I didn't give Loma a fucking pass when he said his shoulder was fucked up.
No.
And you came up with like 20 excuses prior to the fight. I'm injured. I'm injured after the fight. Oh man, I won that fight. Like it was just ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. I was like, what a fucking crock of shit. Poor shit promotion.
way too many. Like
Oh,
the
man.
excuses are like, oh well, we should have never left Top Rank. Who was the ones that went to purse bid? And when you got the purse bid, you was like, yeah, we showed them our worth. Bloody blah. My son's doing it this way. My son's. Now you're gonna say, oh, we should have said we're top rank gloves us. You're the one that said top
talk
rank
about
don't love you.
backfiring. That shit
Top rank-
backfired big time.
And I
said-
think Bob knew it was coming too. That's why he was like, you can't do that, you fucking schmuck.
But hold on.
Bob does
Hold
not respect Teofimo or his dad. He does
But
not.
hold on. I have, in that comment from Senior, is he saying Top Rank loves them? So over at Top Rank, they would have gave that fight to
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's saying that Top Rank would have robbed George Kambosos. Basically,
Oh man.
Well, I don't think Eddie wants him now either. So all that ass kissing.
no, but he's
That
screwed
fight.
now because you didn't want to fight Devin. You're talking about Josh Taylor like Josh Taylor ain't nothing. Now you just lost to George Kambosos. Where are you going to go? You're going to go up to 140 and fight who in these two
Right.
pay-per-view fights?
The way they're
well,
talking, how could you even take them seriously?
the only two pay-per-view fights over at Top Rank for him are Ramirez and Josh Taylor. Both those things are bad for you. So he needs to relax, all right?
Back for his health.
Ronald Finkley says, I'd like Lopez to reconcile whatever's going on with his immediate family and drop his dad. Ronald, that's what I've been saying. This dude
100%.
has personal issues that he has to deal with. His father is making it worse.
Yeah, but I think dropping his dad is going to create a new family issue. Then there's going to be like a feud over that too. So
But what would
I don't see that helping.
Yeah, but his dad needs to take a step back. Really, Tio shouldn't even.
His dad
need
needs to go
drop
to rehab, dude.
Yeah.
The guy's like a party animal. And that's all he really cares about. He was talking about partying during the fight, bro.
You could tell there was something up with Tio because Tio was on edge all week. All week, Tio was on edge.
But anything
probably why they signed with Triller.
Anything Kambosos said got to him. Like Kambosos.
He did seem drunk.
Kambosos' father said at the end of the fight, George came over to him. Junior came over to Tio's corner and said, whatever they told you I said, they lied to you. Apparently, Teofimo was saying George Kambosos was talking about his mother and all that. And they said nothing like that happened. He never said that. So somebody in that camp was telling Teofimo that Kambosos was talking about his mother and all this shit. So
it'll have been Senior. It'll have been Senior who told him that shit. These people
are already, again, messing with this dude's mentality, messing with him, lying to him. So as I think it was ERF or whoever just said, or 1-2 Kid just said, everything Kambosos said upset Teofimo, like everything. It was strange. Like, why are you so pissed off? What's wrong with you?
Kambosos told him.
But again, I mean, you have to cut weight, and you're probably doing it poorly. You're not in. It's already a situation where you don't enjoy cutting weight. You're probably doing it poorly. You got personal issues. A father who you have to babysit. The only people that I have to look out for are my sons, and my sons are 8 and 5. You understand? Where I have to make sure they don't jump off the goddamn chair or something. So I have to keep my head on a swivel. Teofimo has to babysit a grown-ass man.
Right? Yeah, I feel that, man. Like he's trying to raise his dad. Like he got
You saw it though,
his
because
dad all the time.
You saw it because Tio was doing an interview when Senior went into Kambosos' open workout, and was like going, George Kambosos, my son's gonna knock. Then George's dad gripped him up. George's dad gripped him up. He's like, did you see that, bro? He touched me. How are you gonna walk into another man's face and not expect to be gripped up? Like,
Yeah.
and then Tio had to jump out of that interview to go like get his dad out of there.
Defend his dad. Yeah. He
But
was
his
throwing him
dad,
in the fire.
his dad was constantly. What trainer goes into a fight and constantly go, he's gonna stop him in 1 round. He's gonna stop it in 1 round. He's gonna stop him in 3 rounds. He's not going. But you're putting so much pressure on your fighter. Forget about your son. You're putting so much pressure on your fighter to stop a guy in the first round. That just tells me you have no game plan.
Yo, I was waiting for T.O. Senior to say, "They jumped me, bro." Real talk, I was like, come on, man. I think T.O.'s talented, but man, he got to get his shit together.
I do think he's talented. I do think he's a good fighter. He didn't box. He did not box on Saturday night. I don't know what. I don't know whether he took what's going out of the ring into the ring. Felt like he could take all his frustrations out on Kambosos, but yeah, what he showed, he can like Tony. What performance have we seen from Tio that makes him this great fighter? Because like the Comey fight went too quick to even judge him on that.
To really judge it.
The Loma fight, for the first half of the fight, Loma didn't do nothing, so we couldn't really say that Tio took control of it. When Loma did start throwing, Loma was piecing it up.
I think that last round in the Loma fight, that's probably the only thing.
And you know, here's the thing. That was the first sign, because his dad told him you got it in the bag. And he went out there and took it. So, I mean, he didn't listen to his dad, and that's what won him those belts. That's what got him undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It was what he decided to do. So, I mean, once he started listening to his dad, I mean, that's when it all went downhill, man. He got a bad team with him. And as long as he keep him around, I mean, he could still have a relationship with his dad, but just not in boxing. You know what I mean? Just
hold on. Big Duke says we all have issues. Campbell had issues, people dying. Teofimo on his career. No, Big Duke, what I mean by that is, yes, we all have issues. But George Kambosos obviously has a more stable situation around him. When you have issues as a fighter, your team is supposed to not create more anxiety around you. Right? Yep. His father exacerbated this man's. If that is your son, you are acutely aware, more so than anybody else, that my son is going through shit in his life, and I need to do my best to protect my son from other mental stress. Not his father. No, not Senior. Let me crank this shit up to the max.
Well, George Kambosos' dad came out and he said this is what he said in the interview. I'm that guy what keeps George grounded. He said, yeah, even when he won amateur tournaments and stuff like that, I'd let him celebrate. But then a few days later, I'd be like, right, listen, George, you want to be a world champion, then you can't just celebrate this win forever. Like, we need to go to the next one. And he said they were sat in the hospital room after this fight, and he said, I love you, but if I see any change in your mentality because of these belts, we're going to have problems. And that's what a father's supposed to do. Don't change. The belts ain't supposed to change you. The belts changed his father and him. Like, how? He was more of a diva than Loma was.
That's right. After it's the truth. It's the truth. He immediately changed, man. Man,
that's crazy. Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz is happening this week.
Can't wait.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the Zone. Y'all are having a good run of fights for the weekends. Thank you. I re-upped my The Zone for these fights. I appreciate that for y'all. But Jojo Diaz versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney said they had to corner Jojo Diaz for this fight. Remember, Jojo was saying Devin Haney needs to activate his mandatory. So Devin Haney needs to activate Jojo Diaz's mandatory. And Devin Haney said, no, don't act like you wanted this fight. We had to corner you and force you into this goddamn fight. Early on, I mean, it's fight week now. I know we're not probably gonna do no official fight picks, but how do y'all likely see things might pan out this early? It's the week, so maybe by Friday people will change their mind. But right now, how do y'all see it?
I look at it like Devin Haney shouldn't. Hopefully, he learned from this last fight that don't put pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? Because, well, not his last fight, but his fight prior to that, he put pressure on himself for no apparent reason, and don't need to, man. Just go in there and win. Worry about winning, look good second. And if he keep that mentality and he watching this, maybe he learning through watching this guy fail, and you know what I mean. He gonna come out there and he gonna do what he got to do and use his attribute, pump his jab. There's no reason why he should lose to JoJo. But JoJo can be game, and who knows, man. I'm looking forward to the fight, and I hope their energy is saved for the ring as to outside of the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think those two. I think those two have mutual respect for each other. All in all, though, to be fair, I don't think Devin will take that approach where Devin knows he's not that fighter. He's not that fighter that will go out there and bang someone out anyway. So he always relies on his boxing skills, which is a plus side, that you can rely on your boxing skills. You don't have to be drunk on your power. You can just outbox people. I think the Linares fight he was in that zone where he was doing everything he wanted when he wanted, and he tried to entertain. And when you try and entertain and stay in the pocket against someone who can punch, you're gonna get hurt. He did that, and I think he's probably learned from that. I expect it to be Devin Haney. It's going to be a wide point of decision.
Yeah, I just hope he learned. I hope he learned something from this Tio thing. But I think he's like a different kind of kid than Tio. Tio seems more like outgoing, like he likes to party more. Devin seems a little bit more serious. He doesn't have the natural power of a Tio, and also probably not the punch resistance of a Tio. That remains to be seen for sure, but we did see him get dropped, and he's been hurt a few times. So he focuses, like ERF said, like more on defense, and he prepares to go all 12 instead of like just going in there and trying to get someone out of there in the first round. So I think this was probably a good wake up call for him. Like, don't overlook Jojo Diaz and think about your next fight. Like, really focus in on this. But he did talk a little bit of shit I saw about Tio, so he better back that up, because he's gonna look silly if the same thing happens to him.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by like setting the mood, man. Like when you put that type of pressure on yourself, we've seen it with like a lot of people feel like Triple G beat Canelo in the second fight as well, but Triple G put that pressure on himself, saying it's Mexican style. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why everyone looked at it like, well, you lost because he was the one fighting Mexican style. You was boxing and backing up. So, and he did that also. Haney did that when he fought Gamboa. Watch what I'm going to do to him. I'm going to do to him what Tank didn't do to him. You know what I mean?
He did.
You don't need to do that. And then when you got like Tio and his dad saying, we're going to knock him out in one round, Joe, why are you putting that type of pressure on this dude? You know what I mean? He already going in there and defending his title. So when you put that type of pressure on yourself, now you fighting more than one battle. You know what I mean? So, and that's what it's basically your fault.
Yeah, one of those things that it was inevitable. Haney was going to tweet something about Tio losing. Like, it was inevitable because he didn't. Well, Tio didn't seem to want to fight Haney. But it is what it is. I think Haney tweeted congratulations to Kambosos. Kambosos said they've got a mutual respect and whatnot. I think Haney, that's probably what's happened last weekend has probably dialed him in. Like, listen, I can get this undisputed fight. I'd get past Jojo, I can get this undisputed fight. So this fight is, if messes this up, his undisputed fight is gone. So
I think
Ayob says Dev's another one needs a new trainer. I don't think his father. I think Ben Davison does that. Now.
Ben Davison is training him. Ben Davison gets a lot of stick, but he is with Josh Taylor, and how Josh Taylor beat Ramirez. It was a very good game plan. So, when Davison came into the game with Fury and no one knowing him, he's actually, what he's done since that, going away from Tyson Fury, he's not been too bad. Davison,
I don't like Davison because he robbed me of what I wanted from Billy Joe Saunders. I wanted Billy Joe to be absolutely annihilated. He disrespected. What was his name? Billy Joe's actual trainer. What was his name? Mark Tibbs.
Mark Tibbs. Yeah.
He disrespected Mark Tibbs and jumped. Oh, just don't go back out. No, you need to stay out. Let Mark Tibbs talk him up, send him back out there so he can get what I want him to get, which is his career ended in the ring. Anyway, look here. But yeah, man. Sorry, Wanda, you were saying something. Go ahead.
I was thinking that what if Tanks comes in and swoops in and steals the Kambosos fight?
Well, that could happen. It's all gonna end up about money, really, because right. Tank beats Cruz. He's got the baby belt, right? So they'll make him a mandatory,
or even
WBA will make him mandatory. But it's all gonna depend on who's gonna pay the most money for those belts or to try and win those belts.
Oh, well, then we can take Golden Boy out of it. Floyd ain't gonna
send Kambosos to Gervonta to Australia. He ain't gonna send him to Australia. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
We know that ain't gonna happen. The only one that'll be willing to go to Australia will be Devin.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, at the end, like Ryan, Golden Boy ain't got no money, so Ryan's out of the picture.
Right.
So it's gonna end up about money unless they can somehow, Mayweather Promotions can entice him to get that, or WBA threaten to strip him for some reason.
Well, but the thing with Tank is, as you said, ERF, Tank ain't he's not gonna travel. Tank is that kid. I said it before. Tank is that kid who's like who can't get off his parents' porch, right?
Yeah,
on his porch and chill out. All right. I think Haney might be more inclined to travel because the DAZN platform has that capability in that part of the world anyway, right? I think Eddie Hearn, because he has that sort of global approach to boxing, would be probably the best bet to get that fight. They would have to offer Kambosos or promise him some big pay-per-view revenue for him to consider fighting Tank in America, because Tank is not going to, and Kambosos seems to be standing on the fact that you have to come to Australia to fight me. And I agree that they should have to travel. Just like I said, Wilder should have traveled to England to fight AJ and not waste his time with Tyson Fury. You should have to travel. Sometimes you have to travel. And what Kambosos did earned him the right to fight in Australia. Look at what Costa Zew's son is doing without any belts in Australia.
Well, that was gonna be my next.
Who's that? Oh,
yeah, that was me. Sorry, that was gonna be my next thing. There's more money in any of those fights in Australia than there is in the US. In any one of those fights.
Well, in terms of gate, definitely. Well, I also think Lou DiBella, like, he probably has like some animosity towards PBC because didn't they fire him from Wilder?
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be more likely to want to deal with the Haney crowd than the PBC people.
I ain't mad at him for that though. He almost made that shit happen. He was one of the few promoters that was trying to really make that fight happen.
The Joshua fight?
Yeah, the Joshua Wilder fight.
When Wilder
he tried and they fired him for it.
Right.
Imagine getting fired for doing
Your
Your
job.
job. What the fuck? Like they
Yo,
fired him on the corner.
That's why I agree with Black when he says truth is the new hate. Because I mean, I heard people flaming Vada for saying, "Why you report the fact that this dude popped
Yeah.
dirty? Why would you even say anything for doing their job? Like that's what they're supposed to do."
Oh my God.
It just makes no sense, man. It makes
Oh
no
my
sense.
God. Well, hey man, I ain't got much else for y'all today. Anything else y'all want to say on any topic? Anything?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me, Con.
Yeah, man.
Herb,
Yeah, I'm good.
Chat. Have a good one,
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah, one, two.
Appreciate it,
Yeah, I'm
Con.
good.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, man. Peace to y'all. Hey, I just want to announce to y'all, man, that the reason why y'all ain't been seeing me online a lot, my wife been going through it. She's gonna be going in for surgery for cancer, and I just want y'all to keep her in her thoughts,
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry
I'll
to
be
hear
praying.
that, bro.
Yeah, I'll be praying to hopefully get through this. Con. Thoughts with
Yeah.
you.
Good energy, good thoughts,
Yeah, man.
prayers.
Just keeping y'all thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Just remember my wife, man. So y'all be easy. Y'all have a great day. All right. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming
take care,
out.
Con.
Peace,
All right,
peace.
take care, man. Bye.
And that's it for me, man. Again, y'all have a nice day. Please take care of yourself. Wash your hands and mind your business. Peace.